this week there was down on Southwest 104th. There was oh my God, it was a juvenile behind the wheel. Anyway, police initiated a chase on a juvenile driving a car. They ran a stoplight and killed someone, hitting them. There's an Oklahoman article that I can't open, but there was another story, I guess last Friday, where there was a attempted robbery, I believe, and the suspects fled. Or no, I think it was, involved in a robbery and fled, and police again claim maybe they did, maybe they didn't initiate a chase, and the driver of that one got killed. And these are like continuations. Like there's a Tulsa World reporter that's done a lot of stories about highway patrol, like racking up many deaths over the last few years. Earlier this year, Shell Stars, there was a mother who had just dropped her kid off at, I'm sorry, she was pregnant too, pregnant mother who had just dropped her kid off at daycare. Stolen vehicle, police were chasing him, and the guy hit and killed her. So we have like this, yeah, it's called Radio Ahead, exactly. I mean, we have this like just continuous stream of police initiating chases on really stupid things and getting people killed. And, you know, many jurisdictions have stopped the practice, but mostly it's like, I don't know, the police need to be smarter than the people they're policing, and maybe don't chase people through busy city streets where an unsuspecting public is just driving around doing their thing and getting them killed. I don't know. Shocking concept.
So, a few things. I'm only really running the gamut here. So I off with an adult black man, then with a woman, and now we're talking about a juvenile. At least that's an element here. Which another system in which we feel horribly, and that individual, that juvenile in this state, in this county, can very likely be charged with murder. And second page, meaning our Supreme Court decided that mandatory juvenile life without parole is unconstitutional. But if you want to just have a quick hearing before you give them life without parole, or you put a 15, 16-year-old, 13, 14-year-old in a cage until they die, just have a quick hearing, and we good. If you are concerned about like blue lives, although it isn't a fucking thing, I don't need to take this black off. It don't come off. But if you are concerned about blue lives and their safety, police don't die in crazy shootouts nearly as much as they die in high-speed chases. A lot of times in which they're not wearing seatbelts. So these sorts of things, even if you don't give a fuck about the public and you're just concerned with being a conservative dickhead and owning the libs, you should support a policy in which police don't enforce traffic laws because it would also save their lives. They should support a policy in which they don't enforce traffic laws because it would save their lives. And in the ideal world, it would give them an opportunity to actually do more police work, which I'll just side note, we're not going to talk about this in depth, but there was you guys should look at, and I may put in the show notes on Twitch, look at the individual who was stopped in the Oklahoma Panhandle, Oklahoma State guy.
Yeah.
And the cop was like, that's what I do all day. I stop cars. You make traffic stops. It's like, how much fucking violent crime are you stopping there, bud? Quote unquote violent crime. But the main thing is that they shouldn't be enforcing our traffic laws because it's not safe for us. It's not safe for them. It's not safe for anybody. And it would free up their time to do more quote unquote police work. And we could have a non-police entity enforce traffic laws. If you have a non-police entity enforce traffic laws, that cuts down on the quote-unquote high-speed chases, right? Well, not quote-unquote, the actual chases. They end up in deaths of police officers and deaths of civilians because there's no longer a risk of going to jail, right? If you have a warrant and the traffic department pulls you over, we'll fucking I speed constantly, so I'll have a strong disdain towards them. But the traffic. That being said, I am breaking a law, whatever. So the traffic department, our safety department, pull you over, give you. I don't need to run your name for a warrant. You were speeding, give you the speeding thing, citation or whatever the case may be, and go on your way. Like there is no threat of jail,
Right.
there's no threat of prison, there's no threat of whatever. And for those, if there is again, someone said, radio ahead. And for those situations, if there are like individuals driving recklessly from some sort of crime committed or whatever the case may be, yes, radio ahead. That being said, if the barring like someone leaving the scene of a bank robbery, which is very, 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 very rare, if someone is driving a stolen vehicle and the traffic department sees it, you just let that individual drive, and you say this individual was spotted. And whenever they, at some point, I assume they will park the stolen car, and you just tell the police the stolen vehicle is parked. Like, will the car get unstolen?
The Star Shells one, literally, the guy who called the police was telling the police using his GPS tracker on the vehicle. Like, I mean, that's how they found the suspect in that case. And started chasing him was because they were reading off the GPS.
I assume the GPS won't stop working. So, my stolen car has been identified. It's moving. Can you just, again, freeing up for actual police work? Fine. We'll stay on with you. Just keep talk us to where it's going, and we'll alert officers in the area. They're not going to chase it. We're going to alert officers in the area. Whenever the car comes to a stop for more than 4 or 5 minutes at a residential location, we'll send officers to that residential location. Like, and I was able to do that because I wasn't making dumb fucking drug interdiction stops where I stopped black and brown motors because they're black and brown motors and sniff for drugs. But all of that is too much common sense. Giving a fuck about people is beyond the pale of this state on so many different planes. So here's where we find ourselves.
Yeah, former Oklahoma State University football player says he was racially profiled during a traffic stop turned vehicle search by police. You can watch the video; it's out there, but it's extremely egregious.
You can Google drug interdiction stops, and so often race plays a role in drug interdiction stops. So,
Plan 2, like, I mean, the way they initiated the search, I mean, because they can tell the dog, like, they have, like, a signal where the dog can get a hit on the car, and then that's their probable cause to search it. I mean, it's just, like, it was extremely, extremely sketch, and something you could tell that this police officer had done a million times before. Like, this was not his first rodeo.
Yeah, ask the search, they say no, fine. I mean, the point is to make the stop and find a reason to search.
Sure.
Because like me speeding is not a reason to search my car. You running a stop sign is not a reason to search your car. You doing a failing signal and lane switch change is not reason to search your car. So the point of it is to stop and then find a reason to search. Disproportionately brown people. That's who suffers the most. Black and brown people driving, all blacks a thing. That's who suffers most. From those, it's brown person driving, especially if it's like California tags or something. Get a stop, find a reason to search.
I mean, there was just the story about the Vietnamese guys who were coming in from New Mexico and had $100,000 cash in their car, and so civil asset forfeiture.
They had like 140.
Yeah.
Canadian County was like, well, we found 126. So just gotta walk away. But
yeah, so I mean, so like, there's all this like. In civil asset forfeiture, it's like, I don't know, the percentages that Oklahoma Watch or somebody had found was like 65 or 70% were like people of color and like 26% were white or something like that. And anyway, I mean, just wild stuff, like overtly, obviously racist. Half the people never got charged with crimes, but they kept all this money anyway. So anyway, this is our criminal legal system, like in all its glory, just out there, defending public safety. Thanks for watching our video. Please give it a like and hit that subscribe button for more content. If you want to engage with us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram.